The Painful Excellence Podcast.
Absolutely. Drew Titan Bronze on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is Painful Excellence Podcast. It's cold in here. AC is cracking. See, we got in the building. Mark Wunderlich, Mr. Tiptoe, Ratchet since 91, Jay May, Eric Jordan, 88 Sports Talk, Derek Gaines, the legend, Royal Constrictor, Rod Neal, Mr. Shelton, my brother, what's good? Bionic Prince, salute. Shogun 76, salute. BFTB in the building, salute. The AC is popping. I got Central Air. Young Hollywood, salute, brother. Ali, what up? Let's get down to business. So, CEO, what up? Tonight's topic is Zaddy rules. Zaddy rules. I don't know if Kevin Samuels ever met Charlie Kirk, but I was watching a few things on Instagram, some videos. And I noticed a lot of our queens are Night Train, salute. A lot of our queens. I didn't know that they rocked with Charlie Kirk the way they did. Didn't know that. So I just took one of a few videos I saw. I'm gonna play it for y'all. And we're gonna have a conversation about it. Here we go.
People, you don't need government assistance because you can be somebody is not racist. Telling us that government assistance has hindered us because before we were on government assistance, we were a more successful people. It is not racist by reading and understanding the facts. Ever since we started getting subsidized by the government, we have been controlled by the government, and not in only what we can do, but how we think. So when they're pointing out this stuff, y'all don't like nobody telling y'all the truth. Black people don't want to hear the truth because we benefit off of not working and being lazy off of government assistance and stuff. One thing Charlie Kirk also said was if the black people want to become better, we're going to have to stop celebrating crime and murder. Our culture is destruction. Everything we have from the women in our idolization groups, Beyonce, Summer Walker, SZA, Cardi B, Sexy Red, all of them are horrible examples of how to be as a woman. The same thing with the NBA young boy, Lil Baby, Da Baby, Lil Wayne, Baby, P. Diddy. All of those are examples of how to be a terrible person. And what he is saying is get these examples from in front of you and your kids so that y'all can thrive. Also, let's work on building the family back. One of the things that destroyed the family was removing the father out the home. put that back together so we can start becoming a good community. But we don't like being told nothing. We don't like being told how to better ourselves because we want to be victims so bad. We want to be at the bottom of somebody's pity party so bad that we'll take anything we can to disregard or dismiss any ethical or sound doctrine to help better ourselves, so that we can steady dwell on a past that no longer affects us and that we can overcome and have the ability to become somebody.
Am I in the Twilight Zone? You know, one of the major issues that we have, that we always said as black men, we always said, hey man, you know what the problem is with you ladies? Y'all good women are standing too close to the bad ones. Remember we said that? One deep salute. You remember we said that? We said, yo, why y'all standing too close to the bad chicks? And you know what came from that? This thing called the sisterhood, sister code. Thank you, Young Reek. Young Abel, salute. Let me say this. Charlie Kirk, when I would listen to him talk about black issues, I didn't care if it was coming from him and his white face. I didn't care. You know what I did say? I said, he watches an awful lot of brothers complain online. I know he does. And he took those gripes and he said it. And then we get this sister agreeing with him. Kevin Samuels had a really good run, didn't he? Before he passed, unfortunately. He had a good 5-year run, good 4 or 5-year run. He said a lot of truth. But you know what I found strange? How many women hated him for that? When the man passed, how many women danced on his grave? I saw this sister that had on a shirt that said Kevin Samuels died and they had the date on it and she was smiling. And I said, wow. Charlie Kirk gets assassinated and I'm seeing a lot of these sisters fall into place in abundance following that 31-year-old man's voice as a means of leadership. Meanwhile, Kevin Samuels was well into his 50s with a shitload of experience, saying the right things to the community, everything that Charlie Kirk said, and they danced on that brother's grave. My brother Kofa in the building, salute. Mike Lewis, salute. When Charlie Kirk goes on his rant about the black community and he starts talking about the crime rates and everything else, Jose, salute. It's a lot of half-truths, and that's not what this show's about. What this show this evening is about is our sisters listening to him, replaying and regurgitating what he said as if we haven't been saying it. So when Kevin Samuels said, you won't submit, because that's what these sisters are doing now. You know what? They're submitting to this guy, right? This white guy, Charlie Kirk. They submitted to him in death, right? So when he said, you won't submit to your black man, but you'll go to work and submit to your white boss. Do y'all understand what he was saying for real? Do y'all get it? Y'all thought it sounded a little too harsh, right? That's why I made this meme. And the thing was, where Kevin Samuels was speaking, it was actually coming from a place of love. He was an advocate for the black community. He loved us to a fault. You remember when he let that white woman up there and she tried to segue into, she tried to say something about black women. And remember when Kevin stopped her? He said, no. That's not for you to comment. You don't comment on black affairs. I watched that show. Thank you, Grover. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Remix what Kevin said. And now this man has unfortunately been assassinated by one of his own. And I'm seeing a lot of these black sisters replay what he's saying. No, you know what? He was right. Where was all of this when Kevin was saying the exact same thing? Jason Blackman saying the exact same thing. A litness of black men online been saying the exact same thing. And we were told to shut up by the chicks who aren't qualified to tell us to shut up. And y'all sisters didn't tell those women to get right. And when we say, yo, I think black women just simply don't like us. Salute, Kofa. Thank you. I think they just don't like us. They are right now, I created a term for it. If you hear it anywhere else, you heard it here first. In reference to Charlie Kirk, they are divesting in death. Or you can say divesting through death. If you ever hear that anywhere else, you heard it here first. I just made it up. Divesting through death, which means, well, it's obvious. Charlie Kirk, what he was saying, he was firing shots because he told a lot of half-truths about the crime in our community. He told half-truths about black fathers in the community. But I'm going to play some of that stuff in a second. Because a lot of the conversations that Kevin Samuels was having, I swear to God, if he had those same conversation on his panel, on his podcast, I want to know how many black women would beam in and argue with him. How many? Now, before, I know he had a podcast. Did he ever have those conversations and get into a average at best debate with a black woman? I don't know. Y'all gotta let me know. Yeah, Kofa, hold that. Divesting through death. I'm seeing way too many black women co-sign what he's saying about our community. And I'm like, wow, Kevin just said that. When he was saying that, these women wanted to kill him. He's saying the same things. Divesting through death. Zaddy rules. Matter of fact, let me update the title of the show. Give me 1 second. Zaddy rules. Black. Hold on. Black women divesting through death. There you go. So when you hear this, when you see this somewhere else, just say, hey man, Drew made that ish up. At September 25th, 2025, Drew Titan made that up. Divesting through death. Charlie Kirk. I see more of these queens co-signing what he said than a little bit. I'm like, yo, what is going on here? Kevin just said that. And Charlie's not your friend because he's saying that. Because you know why? It's very simple. He was really good at pointing out the problems in the black community, but how good was he in reference to the solutions? Look at his rhetoric and then listen to what Kevin Samuels' show used to be. So what we're gonna do now, let's go to this cute little, he had a conversation. Oh, I like that. I like that. Divesting. I like that. I like that, Kofa. See, now we're thinking. See, we're content creators, not content haters. We're content creators. See how that works? Now, Charlie Kirk used to go to these colleges and debate young men like this who didn't know any better, a lot of emotion, but didn't know how to articulate their point as well. But I did see him get body bagged by a black woman, though. I did see him get body bagged. I'm gonna find that one because magically I went to his channel, I can't find it. But it's out there. I gotta, but she killed him. She killed him. She like, I'm sorry, no, you know, debate wise, it's a figure of speech, YouTube. You know that. She bodied him. She bodied him. But listen to this. Listen to this.
Yeah, so what caused Black America to go from one of the strongest nuclear family communities in the country to now the weakest by far?
What's the answer, y'all? Before I play it, what's the answer? Because Kevin Samuels talked about this all the time, and these women wanted to assassinate him. What's the answer? What's the answer to what he just said? Because Kevin said it a million times. Y'all know the answer? I know the answer. Yeah, one deep. I'm not going to put that up because there's pun intended behind that. And I can't put that up. Women. How many times? A lot of people didn't know that. You know who knew? My parents. My uncles, my aunts. Women chose Uncle Sam over having a man in the house. But Kevin was saying that the whole time he was on his live streams. When they're talking about, well, what's wrong with the community? Men. I was like, no. It's y'all. He went back to a specific year. A specific year. 1965. But he asked this young brother a question, and unfortunately, he couldn't answer. Just listen, he asked a specific question. Let me bring it back so you can hear it. This is what he asked him.
I did it.
Yeah, so what caused Black America to go from one of the strongest nuclear family communities in the country to now the weakest by far?
Now he doesn't know.
I can't answer your question.
No, that's okay. No, that's great. And is again, it's hard to get up and have these conversations. Here's my opinion. My opinion.
He said, here's his opinion. It's not an opinion. Charlie Kirk was so smart. This is not his opinion. This is a reality. Do not tell me he didn't watch any red pill content. I know he did. What these people do. Manda Masamusa salute. What these people do is they invade where we are and they gather notes and they spit out half-truths because they know that a lot of people, because although there was a red pill and a manosphere, and they knew that there was a rift between men that were anti-red pill, anti-manosphere. And what he did was a lot of people do this. They go in there and they take the talking points and they will take what applies to them and add it to a debate. And they know the person that they're debating, this guy, and no disrespect to this dude in the purple hat, no disrespect, but you can hear it that he's not equipped to challenge Charlie. He's not equipped. He doesn't have the resources. Well, the resources are accessible, but he was looking in the wrong places. He wasn't prepared for this. That's why you can't talk out of emotion. The quickest way to lose a debate is to get emotional about the topic. Is to give in about attacks. Always stick to the topic. Abdullah, you know the one. That's it. That's it. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. My brother found it. My brother found it. This is the one. Yeah, Philip Scott. Yup. I'm going to play this. This young sister cooked him. I'm going to play that. Let me put it on my other channel. He got cooked. We'll get to that in a minute, though. Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you. He got cooked. This young queen cooked him. We're going to get back to it. But what I'm saying about guys like this, they'll take what applies to them, and it's up to you to stump him. And he'll say something that sounds so official, but if you can shift through the bullshit and you know the topic, you could point out the discrepancies. Let me get on my boxing shit for a minute. There is nothing anybody could tell me about Tank Davis ever in life. This Jake Paul shit was the nail in the coffin. Anything else after that, I don't want to hear it. You can't say anything to me other than ignorance. He's from the trenches. He's from Baltimore. He got tattoos and greasy braided hair. Anything else, you don't qualify to speak to me. But now back to this guy. This gentleman in the purple hat, in the purple shirt, the matching shirt. He wasn't equipped because he didn't know. Historically, there's just simple things that happen. But to answer Charlie's question, 1965, black woman simply accepted Uncle Sam as the man of the house instead of having a black man in the house. Families flourish with men in the house. But you let black women tell it now, what is the first thing they say? Ow, because niggas this and niggas that. First of all, stop referring to your king as a nigga. Stop doing that. Language is important. Second of all of this stuff you're talking, Autism Boy Salute, where are you finding these men? And this is why we have a bad situation, because these women, they choose the wrong man. There go to Queen Messy Michonne live in the building. Salute, Queen. Always great to see you. Salute, Queen. I ain't got to tell you how to go subscribe to Messy Michonne and Kofa. And please go subscribe to Mr. Shelton. This motherfucker ain't got no sense. Funny as hell. You ain't gonna learn shit from this channel, but you will be you will be entertained. That's my guy right there. Yes, sir. So let's go back. This is what this dude asked this fella. This is his response.
Is that yes, there was some social welfare that subsidized single motherhood, which means it's easier to get cash from the government if you say you are single than if you are married. I think we can agree that's stupid. That shouldn't happen, right? But I would love your perspective on this. Do you think in Black culture, getting married and staying with one woman for your entire life is elevated and celebrated?
Did you hear what he just said, y'all? Now he's taking a shot at how we move, or not really how we move, but how actually what's, Tim, what up? Actually what's glorified in the Black community. Now, can y'all point out one thing that he said that Kevin Samuels or anybody from Red Pill or a woman like Messi Michonne, Kofa, Broken Traditions, Jason Black, anybody? How long have we been saying this? Remember what the show title's about? We've been saying it. And I'm seeing a lot of Black women in abundance siding with him when he talks like this. And all I'm asking is, what the fuck is going on? Kevin been saying this. Kevin was leading the charge and they took him out. I firmly believe that, but whatever. So he asked this kid, and look at this young man's face. Deer caught in headlights.
No, not at all.
I think that's the problem.
I think the problem stems from a lack of education. I think these communities don't have. I don't think a lot of them have the proper education. Or
you don't need an education to understand that in order to move forward. Look, things are just second nature. When you get hungry, you eat. Even babies know that. My stomach's growling. They want to be fed. Diaper change. Marriage, reproduce, family. Your kids see mom and dad, automatically they've been conditioned. Before I spit a baby out when I'm of age, I need to what? Get married. And somewhere down the line, that became abnormal. Dysfunction has become normalized. This brother's talking about education, where we should have known better. Put a year on it. 1965. They did a number on us from the inside out. They goofed up our household. He also believes that systematic racism doesn't exist. That's a whole nother show. But see, that's the bullshit I'm talking about. Thank you, Shelton. Why is he discussing us anyway? You know why? Because he heard all of our talking points. I'm telling you, he watched how Black. I bet you, if you went on his YouTube and saw his bookmarks, Kevin Samuels is there. I bet you. I bet you there's a lot of Red Pill content there. You know what else he probably followed? Derek Jackson. And he collected data about how dysfunctional we are. So he amplified the dysfunction, never gave an actual system on how to fix anything. He just says, this is what's wrong with them, and y'all need to do something better to fix yourself. That's it. Have you been to these neighborhoods? Do you know why the unemployment rate is as such? Are you speaking up as to why there'll be a brother with a CDL and next thing you know, they cancel his driver's license? He can't make a living anymore because he's 2 months behind child support. Then they want to throw him in jail. He loses his job. You talk about things like that. You talk about how a black man and a white man can have the exact same resume and the white man will get a second and third and fourth look, probably will get the job. Even when let's say the black man's resume could be better. Shit like that still happens. You don't want to talk about how a black American with A1 credit will have more problems getting a business loan than someone that just flew in here from Thailand, China, Israel. But we built this country from that all the way to us getting shot in the street for wearing a hoodie, having a pair of keys or a candy bar. And you gonna tell me ain't no systematic racism? This is why I always said, he comes anywhere close to New York and I have time, I would love to go have a conversation with him. They're gonna take the mic from me. Mr. Shelton, put the link to your channel in there for me, please. I appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, he was 31 years old. I have more life experience than him. The shit that he says doesn't exist, I've literally gone through it. And I have white friends that can attest to it. When there was no other explanation but what it was. Y'all know the saying? You haven't walked a day in my shoes. You can't tell me what this is. Kevin Samuels, there you go, right there. It's in the chat. Kevin Samuels used to. Y'all remember that show? He was talking to that white woman, and she tried to make a comment about black women, and he stopped her. And these women will call the show and cuss him and talk crazy and whatever, but still, he would not let no white woman come in there and act like she knew what black woman was going through. See, Kevin Samuels understood the history. He didn't just get on camera and start cussing and screaming. No. He'd politely state the facts and give a history as to how we got here, say what we need to do, and he was actively doing things. He had a mixer group where people of high value, it wasn't even always high value, but people were meeting in these mixer groups. He was actively changing things. He was not. He said, this is the problem, and y'all need to change that. Okay, how do I change that? And see, that's the dilemma. Because he can't tell black people what to do because he doesn't know what we do. He sees what we do, but he doesn't know what we do. You think he knows what it's like to deal with a modern black woman? He sees the fallout, but do you think he knows what it's like? Joe, what up, Joe? Blue collar guy, salute. Blue collar guy, you crazy. Yeah. But look who he's talking to. And I'm not being disrespectful to the young man, but look who he's talking to.
Learning from previous to realize what will lead them to a more successful future. I think that if we funded more education in these systems, then these
funding more education in the system. No, brother. No. We know what to do. One of the things they need to do, and I'm talking about the people that fucked it up, was the women accepting the helping hand of Uncle Sam and saying the hell with the black man. And they rotted us from the inside out since 65. You know what the root of fixing this shit is? Women allowing men to lead the household. Submission. You can't say that. You can't say submission. You can't tell a black woman to submit to a black man at all. Because in their mind, you know what they think? Some nigga in the street. Black women think about black men like how we believe cops see us all. Oh boy, he about to pull me over because I'm black. Oh boy, he about to stop me because I'm black. These sisters, that's how they see us. Oh boy, he gonna want me to cook for him. Oh boy, he gonna want me to clean for him. Well, you cook and clean for yourself. If you're home before a meal, you're home all day, and you make, I don't know, some chicken and rice and broccoli, you can't make a little more for me? That's called being courteous. What the fuck? Everyone go subscribe to Autism Boy, his channel. Just put the link in the chat right there. Submission is a bad thing, but when Kevin said, yeah, but you'll go to work and submit to your white boss, does the show make sense now? Because I saw a lot of white women, when he's having conversations like this, that's true, that I'm like, okay, where the fuck were you 4 years ago? You don't look familiar. And you agreeing with him, where were you? Wait a minute, there's a group of y'all doing this. Wait a minute, there's a whole panel of y'all black women do. Wait a minute, where were y'all sticking up for Kevin? Where were y'all telling the girls dance on his graves? Yo, girl, y'all stupid for doing that. That man loved his community and wanted to help. Where were you? But Zaddy caught a hot one. They firing motherfuckers for celebrating his death. Crazy stuff. Now, this one is 617. Let's go all the way up here. All right, this is another one.
African
Well, hold on. But first of all, it's not a profiling when it comes to that. Blacks are far more likely to commit crimes than any other group associated. It's like 3 to 4 times more likely. It's not even close. So how is that?
Well, I'm not here to debate numbers because I don't.
You heard what he said? You heard what he said? You heard what he said? Bring it back. Gotta watch this guy. Listen to what he says.
Hold on. But first of all, it's not a profiling when it comes to that. Blacks are far more likely to commit crimes than any other group associated. It's like 3 to 4 times more likely. It's not even close. So how is that?
Well, I'm not here to debate numbers because I don't.
He threw a half truth at him, just right there. I'd have destroyed him right there. I ain't talking about physically. %13% of the population, and we're far more likely to commit crimes. Where? See, this is where you need to know the numbers. That's why I'm gonna show y'all when this sister bust his ass. This guy plays word games, and if you're not prepared, he's gonna make you look silly. Now, y'all go ahead and look it up. I ain't gonna give it to y'all. But he's full of shit. But this was, why is black fatherless so high? That's the name of this video.
The numbers.
It's okay. When you get home, you can look at it.
Yeah, when you can get home, you can look at it. Oh my God, I couldn't have been standing there. I'd have took the mic. I'm like, brother, wait, hold on. Let's play the numbers game. Let's do it.
Black Americans are 13% of the population. They commit 55% of the violent crime.
Lie. Absolute lie. Absolute lie. But I'm not here to discuss that. I'm talking about why these women are worshiping Zaddy. And you see, these are the things he did. Which is why when whatever happened to him, a lot of people just kept their mouth shut and said, oh, okay, it's messed up. I know a lot of black people was like, well, I just hope it wasn't one of us because we normally don't do shit like that. And surprise, surprise, it wasn't.
A statistic I've heard before
Right.
Again, I
you've
don't
heard
have the
it.
numbers to
It's fine.
counter
You could
it.
independently fact check it later.
Oh shit, this brother, no. Well, okay, maybe I'll address that on another show, but that's not true.
I don't anticipate you to have it off the top of your head. But why is that?
You see, he knew he didn't know it off the top of his head. That's why he said it. Okay, I'm not here for that. But I'm just showing y'all, I'm making a case right here for something else. That's another topic though.
I don't have a direct answer.
I know.
for
That's
that.
what I want you to think about it. And I'm not going to put you on the spot. Here's our answer. It's easy.
Here's our answer. Just like he gave you a half truth on the crime statistics in reference to black people in the population. Here's my opinion. Here's our facts, our answer. Alternative facts. I was going back and forth with a black woman on Instagram. She's the one that made me do this show. You know what she said to me? I made a comment. I said something. And then you know what she said? Well, he's not a politician. He ain't had no power. He's not a politician. I said, I beg to differ, young lady. He had influence. You don't have to be a politician to have influence. As a matter of fact, when you reach the pinnacle on social media, on any platform to the point where you're making hundreds of thousands and some of these guys millions of dollars, what do they call you? An influencer. Do they not? An influence. You see that on people's LinkedIn. Receptionist, full-time influencer. Full-time? That means you're making over 10 racks a month off of whatever social media platform. Thank you, Roundaway J. That's what I'm saying. Bro, Roundaway J, he knows. I'm not discussing it. I'm making a point about the sisters. But that right there, the amount of false arrests, Roundaway J, you feel me? The amount of false arrests and brothers that was released because of the false arrest, because of profiling due to systematic racism. There's a number for that. He knows it, but this brother don't know it. Bro, thank you. Thank you. Fuck that. Roundaway J's getting a wrench. I'm wrenching you up immediately. Fuck that. Where's my damn... Boom. Exonerations. Does he know that? That's how you cross-examine him. You don't throw out no numbers right away, but like, yeah, you know, give me the number, the amount of black people that were falsely arrested and exonerated. Falsely arrested, released, and exonerated. Do you know black people are the highest people that are arrested falsely? What's the number on that, Charlie? Oh, I'd have toyed with him. When you get exonerated, that means you wasn't supposed to be in prison in the first fucking place. He knows that. But how many of these young people in college knew that? Hello? And what he would have did, he'd have moved the goalposts. I've seen him do it. I'm like, man, he's a body bag. But look, I gotta be careful because the man was murdered. But YouTube knows when we say body bag, that means, you know, you're destroying him in a debate. And this brother wasn't prepared for that. He's a young man. I was waiting for him to come somewhere close to my city. And if I had the day off or whatever, I'd have went right over there. And I'd have destroyed him. They'd be like, well, what's your channel? Yeah, I don't have a boxing channel, man. If you don't, follow boxing or whatever, man, whatever, man. This guy knows better. But I'm making a point because the title of his video, because it's from his channel, why is black fatherlessness so high? Sisters?
The tempting to say systemic racism, redlining, right? All that. Or you could say, maybe it's because dads aren't around.
Let me run that back, y'all. Listen to what he said. Listen to what he said. Listen to what he said.
So I want you to think about it, and I'm not going to put you on the spot. Here's our answer. It's easy and tempting to say systemic racism, redlining, right? All that. Or you could say, maybe it's because dads aren't around, because dads being with their equivalent others or spouses is not a value in the black community anymore. It's acceptable to have men impregnate women and flee.
Acceptable by who? How many of these boss bitches say that they run their household? Is that us? Who runs the music industry? Who runs the entertainment industry? Oh, Jay, man, that's a great question. Why is he? What is his concern with the black community? Because apparently we are behaving un-American. And we're ruining America with our behavior. Meanwhile, we're only 13% of the population. But according to him, we're responsible for 55% of the crime in the nation. You heard what I just said? Everything I just said was not true, but that's how he spun it. And what do I say about these channels? No matter how big or small, how many times you heard me say we have a responsibility as content creators? We have the responsibility to tell the truth, because a lot of people come to us because they're too lazy to read and they don't know any better. So we got to be responsible for our content. You can come here and get an education, or you can get an honest assessment of a situation. If I don't know something, I'll say, hey man, I don't know, but could it be this? Could it be that? I don't know. Or you can go somewhere and have someone tell you a half truth just so they can run their numbers up and pad their bank accounts. But they're doing the community a fucking disservice. So he just told this young black brother that we're irresponsible. He's making it seem like fatherlessness is a mutual thing done in our community, when it's not. These women spitting out kids, they're not getting raped. They are deciding to be single mothers, whether they live in the projects or whether their name is Ebony K. Williams. You heard me. She's a millionaire black woman, right? She decided to be artificially inseminated and be a single mother. No man had nothing to do with it, because when you ask her, why don't you have a husband? She says shit like, I'm only going to date the bus driver if he owned the bus company. And then she got on her platform and lied and tried to say that that's not what she said. Y'all know I did a short video about that. She was asked, would you date a bus driver? She said, if he earned the bus, if he owned the bus. She said black men are failing at the leadership. No, it's the motherfuckers that these black women select because they overlook the good black men. Hence, the good black men started exploring their options in other countries, passport bros. Or they said, man, you know what, fuck this. I looked online, I went across seas, ain't working out. Look, I'm just gonna get me a whole bot and earn my money. Because these women don't want me. I'm not tall enough, I'm not short enough, my dick ain't big enough, whatever they deal is. For a lot of ain't shit niggas walking around, y'all chicks sure are pregnant a lot. And then you look at the dudes that, listen, Kevin Samuels did the math already, and I knew this. Kevin Samuels was saying shit we was talking about in barbershops for the last 3 decades. Who are these chicks picking? Like 80% of these chicks are chasing the 2% of dudes. I forgot the exact number, but it's like they dogpiling these dudes. And then we look at these dudes, a majority of them ain't shit. And that's a small percentage of these dudes. The regular dudes, Where they at? They're working real jobs. They're average looking. Average height. The average height of an American man is what? 5'8", 5'9"? I'm 6'2". I beat the odds. I'm lucky. But y'all see Pop the Balloon? That's evidence. Dude walks out. He's about 5'9", a little stocky, well-dressed. 5 balloons pop. Pop, 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 pop. And then they say, we got pop balloons over here. Wow. Oh, he's just not, it just didn't do it for me. You know what that means when she said, there was no connection, he didn't do it for me. Remember when I told y'all, a woman knows in 2 seconds whether she's going to give you the draws or not. They know as soon as they see you, they know. Remember when I said that? You thought I was bullshitting? They know. They know. It'll be a dude walking through there, decent job, decent height, decent dress, got all his teeth in his mouth, and all these chicks pop. Turn right around and say, ain't no good men out here. No, the niggas you want don't even exist. And that's what Kevin Samuels was talking about. Fatherlessness? No, because you know what? All of these modern women, they think it's okay to what? Eat a nigga ass. Isn't that what Sukiyana told your niece, your daughters? Didn't Cardi B say get a sugar daddy? Isn't Cardi B pregnant right now by an NFL star? That's not even worth the time of day, but she's still married to Takeoff. It was just online crying and screaming about it. Did that not just happen? 4 kids up, divorced. Fatherlessness, but who did she choose? Oh, well, he got money. I'm sorry. Half of y'all baby daddies ain't got no money. He just looked good to you. Can you make that make sense? I was watching the Kevin Samuels clip, and he was talking to this young lady. This young lady said, the reason why most of us, meaning her women, are not in a relationship because a lot of men ain't got their shit together. And Kevin is just letting her cook. And he says to her, I think he said to her, where you are you in a relationship now? She said no. I think she had like a roommate or something. And it was a male. And he said, well, are you intimate with that guy? She said, I have been. I have been? Did he have his ish together? No. Meaning he had she wasn't sleeping with a dude that had the type of money that she wanted to make. She wanted him to make. So he was good enough to sleep with. And some of you sisters, these dudes be good enough to reproduce with, but not good enough to make you an honest woman, because a lot of y'all are dishonest. Y'all are not honest women. But y'all have needs like men have needs, and y'all are just out loud about it. I hear it all the time. Hear it all the time. Shut her ass right down. So when you say fatherlessness, these women are not getting raped. They're making a decision. They're making a decision They're picking a low-hanging fruit type of man, and they're reproducing. Why do you think I didn't cry when the government stepped in and said, man, no more deletions, no more pregnancy deletions? And they were screaming, my body, my choice. Okay, your body, your choice. We see what you've done with that. I came out of high school in the 90s, and I swear to God, every chick that I ran into out of my senior class, 90% of them were pregnant. One chick was pregnant in school. We didn't even realize it until she popped the seed out next September. We going to college, and I was like, wait a minute, when was you? We was like, oh yeah, you did gain weight. You see what I mean? Rod Neal in that super chat, he says Cardi B just came to Houston yesterday, pregnant and twerking in front of Walmart. Disgusting behavior. You see? You see? When Kevin Samuels said that was disgusting, the sisterhood remained silent or tried to roast Kevin. When Zaddy says it, they remain silent. You see what I mean? Oh, good looking out, Shelton. You know, we're not doing the trolling this evening. This is what happens, you know, we have a an adult conversation, and you know, you get the you know, the D-riders and stalkers. I bet you the dude doing that has buck teeth. G-Tatted, my brother, what's good? He has buck teeth and he's snickering because he likes the Jerry Springer. He has nothing to add to boxing. He has nothing to add to this conversation that we're having. He just likes beef. He likes internet beef, and he likes beef up his ass. You're infatuated with me. You're infatuated with people that don't like me. Let me give you something to think about. I say this to all my trolls. I am 6'2", 222 pounds as of this morning. I have a 6-pack of abs and a 9-inch penis. I've won. I've won. I hit the genetic jackpot. I'm not too tall that I can't get on rides at the amusement park. Some of them I can't because my legs are too long. And I'm at that age where I could bag a 21-year-old and her mama. Let that marinate. Let that marinate. When you got a big dick, life is easy. When you're tall, life is easy. I get looks. When I walk into a club, well, I don't do clubs. When I walk into a lounge or any place and they have on a fitted shirt, women turn their heads. Do you do that, or you got to work hard? You mad? How does it feel to know that I could get with a chick and she want to pass me around? Girl, you got to feel this, because that's where I'm at. Like with this age, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. At my age, that's where I'm at. These women, they got kids that are grown and out of college, and they're like, you know what? I'm laying and playing. I have my tubes tied and everything else. You know, ain't gonna be no accidents. Yes, sir. Yeah. It's easy for me. But it's difficult for you, which is why you got troll channels and, you know. Y'all remember when that dude got on Fanon's channel when I was still working with him? And he said, yeah, Drew out here looking like Brian Pumper. And I'm like, first of all, Why the fuck would you call me that guy? Why do you know that name? You know the only reason why I know who that is? Because when I did security, there was one spot I did security at where there was some porno actresses showing up, and he showed up with 2 chicks on a dog collar. I said, look at homie. They was like, oh, that's Brian Pumper. I was, okay. That's the only reason why I know his name. Brown skin diesel nigga. So I'm like, thanks. Whatever. Mm-hmm. Look. You're down bad. Nah, negative. There is nothing anyone on this internet can say that could put me down. I just told you. Because I look good. Mm-hmm. I've literally been in positions where, motherfuckers, man, you work at these clubs, man. I'm gonna tell the stories at Patreon, man, because I can't tell them here. That cuck stuff is for real. I've had dudes ask me to smash their wife. I'm telling you. I'm like, what are you talking? I told y'all what happened in Vegas. I told y'all what happened. The homie really, bro, whatever, man. Whatever, man. These dudes really, 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 really want me. But whatever, man. Yeah. I could dunk a basketball. Anyway, back to topic at hand. Speaking of fatherlessness, the trolls, fatherless, we had a fatherless freak on the panel a couple of days ago, didn't we? Didn't we? Yeah, we sure did. His mama was enabling him. See? His mama was enabling him. And those are the things that fuel Charlie Kirk and this new, I think he got some minions running around now. Y'all saw those assholes that showed up to the HBCU? What did y'all want to happen? They were escorted off. You see, we don't do what you do. We don't get on roofs with sniper rifles and blow your heads off. We don't do things like that. We don't do things like that. Arch Deluxe, probably. I don't know. We don't do things like that. That's white people shit. They got screamed at, and they got the police, and they got escorted off, and they on there with MAGA hats. What did you try to do? What were y'all trying? See, that's what that's these white people do. Y'all remember when Obama was in office? All of a sudden, everybody was beefing about the Second Amendment, and they was walking through streets with the AR-15s. It was like, what are you doing? And that's an interesting point. No systematic racism. Y'all remember that experiment? Because I was still on Facebook at the time. It was a white kid and a black kid. They both had the same AR-15, the same magazine. But you know what happened? You might never know. White man walked that way with the AR-15. The black man walked that way with the AR-15. The white man got about 7 blocks. Nobody said anything. The black man got 2 blocks, and the police was coming out the sky on him. And you know what was crazy? You know what was crazy? The white man had a bump stock on it. Y'all know what that is? It's illegal. Just know that. There's no reason for you to have that. You see what I mean? And these crackers walking through towns and shit with AR-15s. That was like every other clip. I'm like, what are they doing? Oh, I'm sorry, Obama. was in office. That's right, Mansa Musa. It was an open carry state. There was no reason for them to do that to that brother because his white friend was now 13 blocks in the other direction. And they was at a point and they walked in separate ways. That brother got 3 blocks. Somebody calling the police. There's some nigga walking with a gun in an open carry state. See what I mean? But, you know, guys like Charlie Kirk. Y'all not equipped to deal with this. But never mind that. The sisters are sticking up for him and what he said. Oh, what he said is true. Yeah, what Kevin said. He's saying what Kevin said. The thing is, he's backing up with facts, data, statistics, and giving you solutions on how to do it. One of the solutions is get a man, submit to your man, let him lead the household. Well, niggas ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit. Well, who are you picking? And then he exposed that y'all are dogpiling a specific type of men. And then the men that you're not dogpiling, that you're waiting around for, doesn't exist. All these bitches want The Rock. A super duper millionaire, over 6'5" with a 6-pack, a big penis. And all that time for you. And then he did the shows where, let's just say that man falls in your lap and he's of high value. Are you prepared to deal with what high value men do and how they work? When he started saying, yo, this is what high value men do. He makes X amount of dollars. That means he's not going to be home and in your face all day. He's going to be doing a lot of traveling, a lot of business meetings, 14-hour days, business trips, and he might get some tail on the other side of the country or on the other side of the world. Can you deal with that? I'm now. Okay, you ain't prepared to deal with a high value man. He's not saying all of them, but usually. So here he is schooling this dark-skinned brother, saying that fatherlessness is a problem. Zaddy has spoken, but when Kevin said it, they wanted to do to him what was done to Charlie. Strange, right?
It's not a cultural
I
expectation.
think our cultural expectation is for African Americans to stand with their families and increase, because there's a lot of evidence that shows when 2 parents are present in a household, they have a higher chance of their children succeeding.
I agree. Then why doesn't that happen?
upward?
So why don't black dads stay around?
I think
Why don't black dads stay around? That's not the question. Women chose the government enabled the dysfunction. The dysfunction has become normalized. These women are picking and choosing, and they're picking the wrong dude. Meanwhile, I asked y'all a while ago, who owns the entertainment industry? The 24-karat community. Stormy, salute. The 24-karat community and the LGBTQ elemental P community. And they force what's popular. Skinny jeans, painted fingernails, eat a nigga ass, twerking at Walmart. That bitch literally said, Isaiah, what up? Get a sugar daddy. These are the things that's pushed into our community. Pushed on the radio stations. Back in the like the Civil War days, you remember, you seen all the old videos, well, not videos, but all movies where the soldiers are marching and someone's playing the drum. That's war music. Music makes you high. Lost Boys? Music puts you in a mood. I have a playlist for every workout day. Chest, triceps, back, biceps. I have a playlist for every day. Sometimes it's hip hop, sometimes it's R&B, sometimes it's heavy metal. Check my Patreon. I played my playlist, a portion of it. We put ourselves at a disadvantage and they kept the fucking Timberland boot on our neck. And now we've been conditioned. And here this white man is saying that fatherlessness is a major reason why we are where we are. His solution, stop it. Kevin Samuel's solution, to stop it, this is what we need to do. Black women, you need to find a good black man. Oh, I'm not settling. I'm outside, salute. I'm not settling. Don't all these chicks say that on all these podcasts? Why I gotta settle? Okay. Why do you have to settle? What do you consider settling? Because he makes $65,000, $70,000 a year? That's settling? I don't understand. Because he got a 2-bedroom apartment in a decent neighborhood and he's driving a 3-year-old car? That's settling? What the fuck are you waiting for? He's a good man, but just not for you. You deserve what exactly? Because they're quick to tell you what they fucking deserve, right? And what do you normally see when they say they deserve something? A snatched waist, but still wide hips and cellulite. Their ass is broke. Fake hair, fake fingernails. Probably a baby out of wedlock. Stop. Auntie Jenny, salute, queen. Quick to tell you what they deserve. That's why I'm annoyed that so many of these black women are talking about Charlie Kirk is right. He's talking shit and had no solutions. Kevin Samuels had solutions. You didn't even want to hear it. All you heard was, you want us to be barefoot and pregnant and slaves. That's all y'all heard? You want us to be slaves and barefoot and pregnant. Y'all don't want us to have an opinion. Y'all want us cooking and cleaning. You cook anyway. I hope you clean behind yourself. What's going on here? I need a real man. Whole time, what you got on your head is fake. Your eyelashes are fake. Your boobs are fake. Your waist is snatched. And every time I look at your son, you are reminded of your baby daddy that don't want to be with you. And I'm supposed to come in and clean up your goddamn mess. 54% of black men are single. And I forgot the percentage of black men that are in the middle class or wealthy. Charlie Kirk don't talk about those stats because that's within the 13% of the population. He don't talk about that. He wants to talk about how we're most likely to commit crimes. You know what else is a fact? We're also we're the most involved fathers in our children's lives, in or out of a relationship. We could be divorced, but in the child's life. We could be married in the child's life. He's never said that. He talks about the crime rate. Yeah, he never wanted to talk to me. I promise you. I promise you. But he was quick to go to colleges.
That's a progression in our community. I think that's a progression.
But
now,
why is
I'm
that
saying
happening?
that the reason that we're here is there's a lot of factors that led us to this point.
I don't but it's a decision that a black man can make. He's impregnated a woman, so he's not in jail. So he's like a free citizen. Why not stay with that woman and start a family?
These hoes don't want dudes around. These hoes are picking sperm donors that they know ain't shit. Do women lay up under dudes and buy into a dream? Yes. But the pendulum has swung in the other direction. We're in an era where a woman could do what she want, when she want, with whom she want, with these super high body counts for as long as she want, whenever she wants to do it. That's all this is. It's not the dudes. It's these women making these decisions, picking the wrong dudes. Women are dogpiling the wrong. How many? I did a show on that. How many of these women, How many dudes you know that ain't shit that had like 3 different baby mamas? And you're looking at him like, how? How? And you see their baby mamas and these chicks ain't ugly. It's like, well, how the fuck did you fall for this guy? And they spend the rest of their life complaining about him. But you picked him. But he has 3 baby mamas. I told y'all the story on my show. I was connected with some friends at a lounge. He brought his boy they're in some sort of minor league basketball thing. Dude looked like a smaller version of Rick Fox. He's one of those brown skinned niggas with good hair. The curly shit. 5 baby mamas. And they all knew each other. You remember that? Remember I did that live? Let me see. And he was about to marry this other chick that worked for sanitation. You remember that? I would love to get an update on that. They all knew each other. But the skin is too brown. He had curly hair and he had hazel eyes. Y'all just can't say no. So instead of asking him, why don't he stick around? How about asking these sisters who are free to do whatever they want? Why are you picking those dudes? Because that's what we've been asking. Slow down, sister. Close your goddamn legs, man. This dude ain't no good. They don't want to listen to us. They don't want to listen to Kevin. They danced on his grave. When he said, stop doing shit like that, they danced on his grave. But here comes Zaddy, and Zaddy, you think he don't know the problem? He's tuned into what we talk about. But he left that out, and this brother can't think on his feet to even point that out. And he's scared. Because if he had said, oh, Charlie, hold on, you know what? There's an element of truth to what you're saying, but guess what, bro? It ain't those dads. Those dads, they ain't shit, but these women are picking them. These black women are picking them. As soon as he could walk off that mic, some chicks would have jumped him. Even the feminist dyke that don't want anything to do with men will be beating him with a hammer. Boxing fan times 4 in that super chat. He says, Mayos commit the most violent crimes. Oh, yeah. I promise you, he would not want to have this conversation with me. This fatherlessness, please. Please. But as you can see, the young man's not equipped to deal with that. This is a simple fix.
And I'd say for the most part,
66% of the time,
we're moving in that direction.
It's getting worse, not better, actually.
And you know what? He's right. It is getting worse. It's not getting better. How many of these dumbass chicks was siding with Cardi B? There are some women saying, no, you pregnant by this dude with all that reputation, you still married to Offset, and you 4 kids up? Girl. But there's other girls talking about, yeah, strong J. Yep. So there's that. And then there's this. Can I ask y'all a question real quick? Is Kofa still in here before I play this? Because this next clip is actually from Kevin Samuels' channel. And I know he didn't play that shit. You know, when he passed, then people started like replaying his stuff. It's only like a 5-minute clip. I'm not gonna play all of it. But you know, he was quick to, you played his stuff, he'd flag the fuck out of you. And I'm not trying to like hijack his stuff. I'm just trying to make a point here. Is this safe? Because I think his daughter runs his channel now. Yeah, thank you, Manda Mansa Musa. Gail King told her congratulations. She didn't say, girl, why? She said congratulations. And Gail King is an OG. So this is what we're dealing with, Kirk. It's the women. Kevin Samuels says, no, it's not us, it's y'all. Y'all been fucked off since 1965, and it's gotten progressively worse. It's not us, it's y'all. Well, I'm gonna try and do it anyway. Try and do it anyway. Hopefully, if my shit pops off the air, you know what happened. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it. Yeah, around the way, Jay. Yeah, they choose the bear. I just saw a clip today from Poor Man's, what's that brother's name? Poor Man's podcast. This chick was somewhere in the forest in a log cabin. She saw a bear. And she went out there and got close to it, trying to take the selfie. And that shit charged her and she ran back in the cabin. Yeah, you choose the bear until the bear's in your face. That was funny as hell. Hold on. Let me get this shit up there. Okay. Oh, yeah, right here. Night Train, you saw that? That was hilarious. Now, this woman got on Kevin Samuels' show and said, this is why we don't need men. And I know Charlie Kirk saw shit like this. This is what we was dealing with. Well, the single brothers, I'm happily married, thank God. But Jesus Christ. P.E.P.
Obligated to smile to black men. We're holding a lot of trauma. We're holding a lot of problems. Mental health issues.
Hold on. How old are you?
24.
24. We're holding a lot of problems. We're holding a lot of trauma. She's 24. And she grew up in America. She didn't grow up in a third world country. Now, unless somebody was touching on her and her family, and, you know, respect to that, respectfully. But that wasn't her gripe. What happens is women tend to trauma bond. And by the time a man genuinely is interested in them and tries to talk to them, every bad experience that they've heard from their girlfriends, and they don't know if their girlfriend's a smut. They don't know if their girlfriend has like personal issues to the point where no relationship they get into is successful. They take that and they bring that to the table. So when the guy just says, "Hey, how you doing? Can I get you a cup of coffee?" Oh no, what the fuck? There's nothing that he did. It's something that her friends did that she heard, and now she's afraid to even talk to dudes. And now here this stupid ass is, this chick talking about we have a lot of trauma. Because remember, Kevin said, yeah, I don't know why black women don't even smile anymore. Unless they see the car you driving and it's something they want to get in.
I'm gonna say this one more time. I need you to pay attention. I need all black women to pay attention. The world does not owe you understanding or me understanding. If you have all this trauma, go seek professional help, because the rest of us do not have to suffer you.
That's right.
Okay, it's easy to tell black women and black people
do you not
in the black community to get help.
Whose responsibility is it to get the help they need?
But it's not available readily to our community.
That is bullshit.
easily.
That's nonsense, man. That's nonsense. Why I gotta deal with your fucking attitude because you got trauma? That's not fair to anybody around you. All he said was seek help. Does your boss give a shit about anything that happens in your household? Your cat died, a spouse died, a relative died? No, he hired you to do a job. Now, respectfully, if you go to a boss that says, yo, look, man, I just lost a relative. I go home and take a few days off. Let me know what you need. Or, hey, man, that's fucked up. You just found out this morning, but yo, listen, we're doing inventory. I need you today. You got to go count this, man. I need you today. Respect due, but damn, I need you today. Because if this don't get done, I'm going to die of a goddamn heart attack. You can't be walking around life with an attitude expecting us to understand and respect that you got trauma. This chick ain't got no goddamn trauma. She's in a place that has probably central heat, central air. She ate today. She got her head wrapped up. She probably had a shower. She looks well kept. Could use some braces on the bottom, but she looks well kept. What the fuck is she mad at? Now, she could still be mad at something, but all he said was go get help. I don't have to put up with your shit. I drive a bus. You know how many people get on my bus with some bullshit? None of my business. Don't care. I'm thinking about my money, and they pay me well. I'm thinking about my bread. Not listening to none of this bullshit. Who cares? I put up with that. Expect us to understand. You're supposed to have any kind of attitude for no man. Please, right? This is what this right here. But you know what? Let me tell you something. You see a black woman? I'm talking about black women. If it's a dude that she's attracted to, she'll watch everything she says. And she'll even put up with his bullshit. Brothers, how many women you know put up with a dude that's doing her dirty? Because he's knocking her spine out of alignment in that bedroom. And she has no business with dude. None. They curb their attitude when they want to. I don't want to hear none of this shit. A lot of black women that I've met are resistant to therapy. Man, shut up.
Shit.
With the West Side growing, how many people
Whose
can afford?
responsibility is it to get the mental health they need? Who?
It is ultimately the responsibility of us to get the mental health that we need. But I'm letting you know that we are very underserved.
What?
You can't make this stuff up. So you say we're underserved. You got to tell me that the therapists that already exist are overloaded. We don't go get help, man.
Thank you, man. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. So these are things that black men had to deal with. And what Charlie Kirk did was make it a fatherless black issue. That's what he did. That's what he did. And it was fucking genius because no one checked him.
Men in general, men.
Here's another one I'm gonna play. It's actually genius what he did. But you know what? At some point, Kevin and Charlie would have bumped heads. Either Charlie, Paper Route, what up? Either Charlie would have been on his show or Kevin would have been on his show. And when the subject of black fatherlessness would have came up, Kevin would have got his ass. Now, it's another one right here. Listen to this, y'all. This was funny.
Men in general, men worldwide were more masculine because we didn't have feminism. But see, the problem is black women, your mother's generation and your grandmother's generation, they really failed you guys because they told you didn't need a man. So you can't. Right. Who raised these feminine, weak black men that you have a problem with? Who?
I talk about this all the time. And just the other day, was there not some weed smoking, overweight, non-lined up, fuzzy looking, fat, bearded kid on my panel arguing with me over something he knew nothing about, enabled by who? His mother. It just happened. His mother enabled him. Y'all heard it. He had spaghetti stains on his shirt and everything. He said, "Hey, Drew, Drew, I'll fuck you up. Fine, it's been done. Whatever. Okay, yeah, you go. Everyone wants to fight when they get killed in an argument. Everyone wants to fight now. Y'all ain't gonna bust nothing. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. I'll beat the shit out of all of you. So now that we got that out the way, peep the question. Who raised them? We all know it wasn't their daddy.
Who raised them? Who raised them?
Look at her looking around. Look at her eyes. He asked her twice. Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes.
Who raised them? 80% of black children are born out of wedlock. Who raised them?
80% of black children born out of wedlock. Who raised them? Let me ask you a question. How many men wanted to be there, but the court says what? For a man to get custody of his child, that woman has to be a complete and total train wreck. I mean, crack. She has to come to the court with the crack pipe. Teeth missing, house all fucked up. And she still might get custody because the system says it's better for the woman to have custody of the child. Meanwhile, the man makes the most money. The man has a steady place to live. The man has a full-time job. He obviously is the better person. Plus, kids grow up better when they're a 2-parent household or what? A single fathered household. That's been proven. But somehow these courts give that fucking child to this stupid ass mother because y'all do understand that child support is a business. When you write that check to baby mama, the system takes an exceptional chunk of it. The state gets paid first. So you see her fight. She complained about men. But what do I say all the time? The nigga that was on my panel, he's gonna be outside looking for a girl. If not, he's plugging one already. And you know what happens with boys like that? They usually find a girl in their mama image. Now, if this young dude was on my show, N-bombing all over the place, smoking weed with spaghetti stains on his shirt, and his mom is enabling that nonsense, he's gonna go out and find a bum bitch like who? His mom. And that's the dysfunction. And it started in 65, and here we are in 2025. They did a number on us. And all Kevin Samuels wanted to do was break the cycle by pointing out the discrepancies and saying, this is what we do to fix it. And these black women fought with him every fucking night. And here comes Charlie Kirk saying the same shit, but leaving out hella information and gave no solutions other than y'all got to change that. Wasn't actively changing shit, just saying, look at them, look at the animals, they need to change. Never gave any information on what we need to do to fix anything. And now I see you sisters saying, Charlie was right. Charlie was right. Kevin was right. Jason Black is right. The Manosphere is right. The Red Pill is right. You want to talk about half-truths? Hey, watch this, watch this. Fresh and Fit. A lot of the shit they said was right. Assholes. He said in them jail prisons got to be filled up by single mothers' children too, brother.
Good night.
Look at her face.
Them.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
We did.
Who's we?
My mom or whoever my grandparents did.
Black who?
Black who?
Women.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. She didn't even want to say it. She didn't even want to say it.
Excuse me, 51.
Here we go.
excuse me, 51% of men are single and child, 54% of men, black men are single and childless. Most men don't have kids. Can you give a man your whole self?
I believe I can.
You can't, ma'am. You're 42. And I'm about to end this conversation because this is why, but I'm showing you guys something, why guys at this level don't date older women, because
And then that's another problem. These women done spun the block, partied their 20s and 30s away. Some of them spit out kids. Some of them have an STD or have had an STD. And now they say things like, okay, I'm ready to be a wife now. Too late. Too late. What was you doing between the ages of 18 to 35? Oh, you know what they say it is now? They call it living your best life. So you rode that penis carousel, and now that you're done with a nice and high body count, you meet a man. Now your standards have changed. Oh, I can't get The Rock, but I'll take average Joe. He make 80 a year. Okay, he got a pension. Okay, I got to shoot my shot now. And now he's in his 40s and he has his pick of the litter. Oh, wait, how many bodies you got? Ooh, 18, shit. It's a lot. How many kids you got? Ooh, 2? Oh, okay. 2 different fathers? You know what? Check, please. You know what these women actually say? So what? So what? Why can't you? Why is it that you okay? It's okay. You can have an 18 people body count. Bitch, you trying to get picked up, not me. I'm good. You trying to get hitched. I'm good. But let me go on to this thing right here. Where is it at? No, this one. This right here. This is when Charlie got cooked. I'm not gonna play all of it, but he got cooked by this young sister right here. This is how you handle Charlie Kirk. She knew her shit.
His policy on DEI, as you know, in his first weeks in office, he signed the executive order declaring that DEI is both unlawful and a threat to national unity. And I just kind of want to ask you to elaborate on why DEI is unlawful.
Well, based on the Civil Rights Act, which I have disagreements with, but based on the Civil Rights Act, which is the law of the land, it says you shall not discriminate.
He has a disagreement with the Civil Rights Act. I just let that sink in for y'all. This ain't that show for that. But I'm pointing out the black woman, justifying this guy when Kevin Samuels was saying the right thing, but Kevin Samuels, I don't recall him saying that the Civil Rights Act was bad. Oh man.
Based on color, race, creed, or origin of nationality.
Yes.
And DEI definitionally does those things.
How does it definitionally do those things?
So for example, if you say you are going to hire a certain amount of people or have scholarships only for a certain people, you are then prejudicing against another group.
Which group are you prejudicing?
So white people, Asians as well. I mean, white people are an easy one off the top of your head. So for example, in the Harvard admissions case, I said this earlier, the average test score for a black individual was around 1300 SAT, about 3.2 GPA. For a white or Asian, it would be about a 3.9 to 4 GPA and about nearly a perfect SAT. So you are disenfranchising and
she wrote her shit down. She came prepared. Salute to her.
Stereotyping and prejudicing against whites or Asians in favor of blacks.
You're not prejudicing against whites or Asians, though, because DEI is not on a race basis. DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion of all people. Affirmative action is what is intended to address racial inequality. But
now you see that right there. What he did was he tried to conflate the two. It's a clear difference. This queen knew that. He said the Civil Rights Act he had disagreed with, which means just by default, he has a problem with affirmative action. And then this thing called DEI came in, and he put that in it with that, and he made a pot of gumbo. No, this don't go with that. So she separated it. Now look at his face. He said, oh shit, okay. That didn't work. You see? I want to know who this queen is.
DEI isn't on the basis of race.
Well, so DEI is a project of the affirmative action movement.
No, it is not. I'm going to play it. Go ahead.
So one comes before the other. He signed an executive order against both, for the record, so I wasn't sure which one you were talking about.
I'm talking about
Oh, he wasn't sure which one he was talking about. She wasn't what she was talking about.
DEI.
So DEI, it depends what we mean in practice. So I can give you one example. There are Black-only graduation ceremonies at certain schools, or Black-only dormitories.
But those are kind of student-led. I mean, I'm part of a Black.
Let's play this.
Okay, what she said is correct. Those are student-led. In the police department in NYPD, they have something called the Emerald Society. You know who's in that? Irish police officers. It's exclusive to Irish police officers. They got something for Asian police officers, Latin police officers, and African American police officers. I forgot all the names. On college campuses. Let me ask y'all a question. How many of y'all been to college and pledged? Grand Region Thrag, salute. How many of y'all been to college and actually pledged? Have y'all ever seen a white Q dog? Uh-oh, I'm just asking. Have y'all seen a white Q dog? Let me know. It might exist. I'm not talking about a high yellow light skinned one. Have you seen a white Q dog? Night Train says no, sir. No. Hell, they got scholarships for left-handed students. Never seen a white Q dog. There's Black people in Ireland, but I don't know if there's a Black Irish cop anywhere in the NYPD, but would he be able to join the Emerald Society? I don't know. Draw says maybe once. I don't know. He said we had a white Kappa and a white AKA on my campus. That's wild. But I said Q dogs. It's obvious why I said Q dogs. It's obvious. They're all Black. They're all bald. I've never seen it. Maybe y'all have. That's why I asked. But in college, those are student-led. It's not law. The students voted on it.
And
So
it's run by students. It's not
fair
through
enough.
the school.
Let's play it out. So if there is a
Let's play it out.
Black-only, let's pretend, which it's not, that
Let's pretend. You see where he's going now?
building is Black-only. If I said that, if that building was
I'm
white,
like the campus center?
no, I said let's pretend it's
yes,
not.
hypothetically, yes.
Hypothetically, if that building was white only, you would agree that's a violation of the Civil Rights Act.
Yes, but there
Hold
are
on,
no buildings on campus that are Black only and white only.
Well,
and by the way,
but there are on other campuses.
No,
though.
but in those dormitories that are like culturally specific, you don't have to be that culture to live there. They're not.
Thank you. Thank you. Sort of like the LDBC created by a Black man, but it's not exclusive to Black people. Everybody's welcome. That's it. So he's going off of hypotheticals and let's just say this is and that. It's a bad example because she goes to the school. And if he doesn't understand how shit runs, it's fantasy. Listen to how he answers the questions. He says, how we take it, in my opinion. His opinion. It's not fact. Oh my God. It was so easy to get this guy. And it took a real queen to come in there and literally bust his ass. I'm gonna play it.
I'm gonna not allow you to be black, to live in a black dormitory.
You would
no,
be
Ujamaa at
surprised.
Stanford. White people do live at Ujamaa. That's not.
I don't know about that specific example, but if
I don't know about that specific event. See, you can't fast talk me. I'm listening to you.
it says black only dormitory.
But it doesn't say black only.
But okay, how about this? How about if we had? Well, it does.
It doesn't. Where? Where does it say that?
Just to be clear, well, in the title. But let's pretend it says
where?
black.
Like what school? Where does it say black only building?
Eastern Washington University, Portland State University, just off the top of my head, San Jose State University.
They say black only dormitory. And if a white person were to apply to live there,
it's a black affinity cultural space.
Look, look, you see his fingers? It's a black cultural space. No. You let him tell it, it says on the front, blacks only. That's not what it says. It's sort of like you go there, you go into a neighborhood and you're like, oh shit. It's a Latin neighborhood. Right up here in the Bronx, you go up 233rd, you make a right turn on Cortona, you know what you're gonna see? A bunch of Clover signs, like, oh, this is an Irish neighborhood. Plain as day. So he's going, it don't say, you let him tell it, someone else will hear that and say, oh, there's a black dormitory. It says blacks only, like a white person going there and he's not allowed in there. And that doesn't exist. Thank you, Dragon Fang. He just lied. Man, she is kicking his ass. She said, no, it don't say that. What do you...
Of which only black individuals are accepted and governed for black individuals. But can we have white affinity cultural spaces?
you can have a white affinity cultural space.
Man, these crackers got a whole goddamn body of land and they ain't letting black people on it right now. By the way, that was happening before he was assassinated. Did he co-sign that? Abel, Mojave, Mansa Musa, Mr. Shelton. That white body of land. I didn't talk about that yet either. Did he co-sign that? That body of land where that dude got a white community and they ain't letting nobody on there, no blacks, no whites or nothing. Did he co-sign that? Asking for a friend. What was his thoughts on that? Because if he says, hey, man, you know, that shit ain't right, I fucks with it. Did he say anything? Man.
Activity is, the issue is that you're saying black only. It's not black only. It's a black affinity cultural space, but anyone is invited if they would like to participate.
It's a black affinity cultural space. You know how I know what she's talking about? My nephew who's in college has a friend who's Dominican, who's a part of a black society, a black cultural, like it's a learning space where he's learning about black history. It's not exclusive to black people. You see, he has take it back to what he said. He has a problem with the Civil Rights Act. And he took DEI and lumped it in there with it and stirred the pot. And he's saying today there's spaces that white people aren't allowed in. That's just as ignorant as saying nobody's allowed in Chinatown or Little Italy. Man, there's people going in there to eat up their food and Patreon their stores all the time. They're making money off of us. Yeah, young Abel, it's gonna look like the hills have eyes in about 2 decades in that damn town. They ain't gonna survive. Bunch of inbred looking goat people running around in there. No, sir, I ain't gotta live there.
I would, first of all,
you cannot legislatively not
I
allow
agree.
someone of any race to participate in
no,
something that doesn't exist.
We agree. That's the spirit of the diversity, equity, inclusion order. Is that
he said it's the, listen to what he says. It's the spirit of it. She's saying it doesn't exist how he's explaining it, but he's saying in spirit, that's what it's meant. You know, he meant that's what it's meant for, in spirit. Y'all understand? You gotta listen when guys like that talked. In spirit? What do you mean in spirit? Oh, it's not like that. And it's a black space and y'all allow people in it, but in spirit, meaning y'all don't really want that. Bullshit. I'll give you an example. Last Sunday, we had that polite and respectful brother on here, the Latin brother, our Puerto Rican Dominican brother, JC. And his thing was, I had a problem with Canelo fans wanting David Benavidez to get some get back on Bud, and I said it was racially driven. He said first he said it wasn't, and I said it was. Then he said, well, come on, y'all act as black fans, that y'all don't do that. I said, no, we don't. Because he had a problem with me saying, you know, everything that black fans do is out of retaliation. It's a reaction to what's being done to us. He said, that's not true. I said, yes, it is. And then I asked him, here was the problem. When I asked him, name a situation that you know for certain where we've done that. A black fighter lost to somebody that was another ethnicity, and we said, okay, one guy went down, we got to get another guy to get him. And I said, name me anybody at any point in time that you could think of. And he came up with Stephen Fulton and Monster Inouye. And I said, no, sir, that never happened. That never happened. You know why? First of all, we're too divided to even do that. There's Monster Inouye fans, like there was Manny Pacquiao fans, like there was Ryan Garcia dick blowers. We're too divided for that to even exist. Second of all, off the top of my head, I couldn't think of anybody that I could say, hey man, this black guy need to go get Inouye. That's just not something we do. Black American fighters. We're too segregated. Philly, New York, LA, Chicago, Miami, Texas, four cities in Texas. We don't do that. And when he thought about it, he said, shit, you know what? You're right. Yeah. Because my next question would be is, okay, who in that division would I have said, hey man, go up and beat him in the name of Cool Boy Steph? And I failed to mention on that live stream, as a matter of fact, didn't something involving Jaime Munguia, a Mexican lost, and Jaime Munguia said, I gotta get revenge for him? Y'all remember that? It was involving Jaime Munguia and, was it one of those Calum dudes or something? He beat a Mexican or something. And Jaime said, I have to avenge. Y'all remember what I'm talking about? I vaguely remember that. Jaime Munguia was trying to avenge somebody. Or he lost, or somebody was trying to get revenge for him. But it was a Mexican thing. And nobody says shit about that. Whatever. Anyway, I didn't want to get off topic. But when he says in spirit, you got to listen to what he says. Watch his hand gestures. In spirit. Meaning he's trying to just brush that off. Okay, yeah, it's diverse, but y'all don't want it that way. Thank you. That's what it was, Stormy, when Zerto lost. Jaime Munguia said, I got to get revenge for my brother. They don't go. Well, I was about to say they don't go out go drinking together. Zerto got lifted for being intoxicated. Y'all remember when he got arrested for being drunk, publicly intoxicated? Y'all remember that? That happened when Zerto lost. Munguia said, "I gotta get revenge," and it just rolled off their shoulders. We don't do shit like that. I don't recall a black fighter losing to a non-black fighter, and the fans saying, "Okay, this guy lost, but you in the same division. You got to go get that back for us, for the culture. Our culture's too divided." Evidence of that? You want evidence of that? I'll give it to you. I was rooting for Tank when he fought Ryan Garcia. Devin fights Ryan Garcia, or the Tank fans was rooting for Ryan Garcia. Point proven. Anyway. So he says in spirit.
DEI in practice, again, we have to go through.
Oh man, this guy. In spirit, in practice. Bullshit, he's lying.
Example after example is discrimination, prejudice,
Well,
and
let's
segregation.
talk about DEI in practice. Let's
Okay.
talk about DEI programs in the workforce, because DEI programs in the workforce happen to benefit veterans. They benefit people with disabilities. They benefit people at an economic desperate. They benefit lots of people that is not just on the basis of race. And to me, it feels like you're conflating.
That's the same word I used. Now, I didn't watch all of this through. I heard about it, and I saw a pic of it, and I didn't watch it. This sister's on point. This young lady is on point. I just said that he's conflating it. She's sharp.
DEI with pro-blackness or black only,
So
which is not the definition of DEI.
Oh my God. She kicked his ass. She picked up on every minute of his bullshit, every second of it. He said he took affirmative action in civil rights, in DEI, and put it in one thing and made it a black thing. The man that didn't like Martin Luther King and said civil rights was a bad idea, therefore affirmative action is a bad idea, and DEI is a bastard child of that, and it only helps black people. And by the way, the black community has a fatherless issue, and he'll never mention 1965. And will never forward any solutions to fix it. This sister was prepared for his nonsense. She took debate in school. I'm willing to bet she did. Yeah, Night Train, look at this motherfucker face. He couldn't deal with her. Oh my God. This is a wash.
So let's take a high-profile DEI example. Is that cool? Just maybe one we can play around with.
Okay.
Which I got.
Look, everything is hypothetical with him. Let's do this. That's something we could play around with. Everything is hypothetical. She's busting his ass.
Got me in a lot of viral trouble, which I don't care, which is pilots.
I got in a lot of viral trouble too. I was debating
She gets in a lot of viral trouble. I need to find out who this sister is.
this guy,
I
you know.
And you kept interrupting you.
You did.
I know, right? Which is that, let's say DEI. A project of DEI at United Airlines was that we want to get 40% of our pilots to be black or women of color, or women or people of color.
40%.
50. I'm sorry, to get up to 50. It was at like 6%. So therefore, they wanted to make a push towards that, and it was currently at 6%. We look at that and we say, wow, you're going to have to lower standards to get to that goal.
Why would you have to lower standards?
Well, because
are you saying that black people are inherently inferior?
I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying that black people are only 13% of the population. So you want
Here he go. He's playing with numbers. Here he go. I need y'all to pay attention. She said, are you saying that we're inferior And now he's going to play with the numbers. You're only 13% of the population. So what are you going to do? Hire 7% of the 13% to make them pilots? That's not what I'm just going to let him talk. I know where he's going. Listen to this.
13% of the population.
Women are not 13% of the population.
Uh-oh. They're not.
Women are 50% of the population.
Yeah, but women do not make up a majority of people that want to become pilots. In fact, vast majority of women don't want to be pilots.
Maybe they would want to become pilots at the bare.
He's talking about the women that want to become pilots, not that, oh, it's a job and I'm going to take the job. It's a known fact that there's jobs available, but women don't do the same jobs that men do. Like working on oil rigs and doing construction. Those jobs are available to them. They just don't do it.
Barriers for entry
well,
weren't.
See, that now we're going down a different but equally fun direction, which is male-female differences. Men much more likely want
He just moved the goalpost, y'all.
to be involved in heavy machinery, mechanics.
Did I not just say that? But that's not what she's talking about.
They want to be pilots. They want to be tank operators. They want to be police officers. Whereas women much more likely want to be, I'll get to you, Mason. Don't worry. And I remember your name.
Yes, can Mason go? They won't let him go because he's
I'll
not
let Mason
USC.
go. I'll
There
let
we
Mason
go.
go.
Let me.
You know what? I'm going to stop right there. That sister was so sharp. She was kicking his ass. And everything he was a hypothetical. And then he always goes back to black people, 13% of the population. 13% of the population, but we're responsible for what? 50% we're 50% more likely to commit crimes. Here's the bottom line, y'all. All of a sudden, those talking points that were strategically put out that he said about black people, now all these fucking bitches are siding with Zaddy because he says that. My thing is this, y'all didn't do enough research on this motherfucker because I didn't like him. I don't co-sign what happened to him. No. As a matter of fact, I wanted him to be around long enough because eventually, other than that sister, he was going to meet his male match that knew what the fuck he was talking about and would cross-check him on all his bullshit. But the premise of this show is we tell y'all sisters all the time, the problem with y'all ladies is y'all staying too close to the smuts and we don't know who's who. All we ask y'all to do is call out the smuts. If you rock with Kevin or the Manosphere and we make good points, that's why I fucks with Messy Michonne and Dee and Pink Book Lessons. And there's a few other women out there that they stand on business. Auntie Jenny in the chat. They stand on business. They stand on business. But there's not enough of them. There aren't sisters outside smutting it out, but they just sisterhood. I'm gonna be quiet. I ain't gonna say nothing because of the sisterhood. You're gonna go down with the sinking ship, and then y'all can't defend the sisterhood and then get mad when dudes are getting passports and exploring their options in other countries. Y'all can't get mad at sisterhood. Y'all can't get mad at the brotherhood and justify the sisterhood when man says, all I need is a Hobot. I can get that bitch built how I want her built. And I'm good. Oh, Abdullah, yes. Media Man is really good with the facts and the data and statistics. He did do a video on it. I didn't watch all of it. I was tired. I fell asleep. But y'all go subscribe to the Media Man. He called this idiot out on his bullshit too. It's wrong. It's all wrong. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet if he was in whatever state that Media Man lives in and he saw him coming, he would either close up shop or make sure he wouldn't get the mic. He knew exactly what the Manosphere was. He knew exactly who Kevin Samuels was. And all he did was tell you half-truths. And just because you sound smart and articulate, that don't mean you are. You just regurgitate a bunch of bullshit. But if you arm yourself with what you're supposed to arm yourself with, you can debunk everything he fucking said. And it's a goddamn shame that our queens don't know any better. It's been done. You praising this dude who didn't like you. Go look up what he said about black women and being pilots. Go look it up. Civil rights, DEI, MLK. But he says one thing that's half true about the black community. But when Kevin says he told the men, man, cut your dreads, comb your hair if you're trying to get a job. Like where that'll hinder your chances of getting a good position in corporate America. There's certain things you got to do. It's called selling out. But are you going to keep it real and keep your hair long? Or say, you know what, it's time to grow up. They're about to pay me 120 grand, but this hair is holding me back. Got to cut that hair, man. You just have to. Or keep it real and stay where you at. There's nothing wrong, but don't complain later. It's up to y'all. Sisters, man. Just when y'all think y'all smart, y'all running behind this dude. Kevin been saying that. Y'all danced on his grave, man. I'm just so disgusted with y'all, man. I don't know what else to say. But I'm going to pack this up. Been on here 2 hours, man. But, it's all good. I got to talk this boxing in the morning. Man, salute to y'all. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App, the Super Chat, man. It's all good, man. Man, y'all take it gently, man.
The Painful Excellence Podcast.